Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Molis, the Malden Police Chief. Today is Wednesday, February 13th. A week or so ago, we previewed an initiative that some of my detectives had come up with in which we would use different venues to make connections with the public. We had told you that part of our plan would be to provide you with weekly updates about what's going on in the community within the context of your police department and public safety. So today is the first video that we'll be putting out in connection to this attempt. So I'm happy to tell you that we will be hoping to do this on a regular basis, and we hope that the information that we give you will be something that you can use and something that will inform you and make you better aware of the good things that are going on in the community. As you see me sitting here, you probably can make note of the blue and black mourning band that I wear on my badge. That's in recognition to the fact that last night, a member of the New York City Police Department, Detective Brian Simonson, made the ultimate sacrifice, dying in the line of duty under tragic circumstances at a robbery call in Queens, New York in the 102nd Precinct. So this is a reminder to everyone that sees this about the dangers and risks associated with the profession of law enforcement. It is something that we're aware of each and every day, and I want to extend my personal condolences and the thoughts and prayers of the entire police department to the New York City Police Department over this tragic loss. So, getting back to the format of this, what we're going to hope to do is look at the past week and give you some information about what has gone on. And hopefully it'll educate you and make you a little bit more aware of the function of your police department. So when I look at the activity of your police department during the past week, one thing that I want you to know is during the past week we conducted what's called 977 computer-aided dispatch events. Those are times when a police officer is dispatched to a call and responds and takes information or takes some police action. But in addition to those 977, there are 482 directed patrols. A directed patrol is officer-initiated activity in which an officer chooses to go to a location and make visible presence or take some type of action. There are certain areas in the city where we spend specific amount of times based upon crime trends, volume of activity, and that kind of dictates the activity of the officer. Take, for example, an area like the MBTA station. The recently initiated Malden Warming Center has seen police officers regularly go by just to check in and see how things are going. So directed patrols are an officer-initiated event, and it's a good example of proactive policing, where the officers who are in your sector, who you see driving around, are not just engaged in random, undirected patrol. They are taking their own initiative to go out and make the city safer. During the past week, members of the Malden Police Department took a total of 97 police reports for a variety of different incidents, and included in those 97 were 165 supplemental reports. During the past week, the Malden Police took 12 people into custody for a variety of offenses, and that's again an indication of a department that's going out there and doing their job. I would like to mention some of the types of crimes that we are seeing that you can maybe take into your own life and your own perspective to make you safer or make you more observant about things. One thing that we see quite common, not only here in the region and all around the country, is the crime involving fraud, where people will call or contact you in an attempt to make you give them money or transfer funds to them in a fraudulent manner. Now, there used to be a method of doing that in which they would appeal to people by telling them that if you gave money, you would receive more money in return. What we're seeing nowadays is people committing fraud crimes by reaching out to members of the public and posing as government officials law enforcement officials or in some official capacity in telling their intended victim that they have to give money because of some problem that exists. They can pose as a member of the IRS, a law enforcement agency, an official from a foreign government, and we have seen occasions in which people have taken large amounts of money and transferred it from their bank, or actually have taken actual cash and provided it to these people that commit these crimes. I want you to take this to heart, because if you are contacted by someone who is demanding that you provide them with money or funds, and they are alleging to be part of some government agency, that should tip you off that this is not a legitimate inquiry by that person, and you should contact your police. I want to point out something that we saw in the past week or so, and something that you can also use for your own safety. We did have 3 pedestrian accidents throughout the city in the past week. We had 2 near the MBTA station involving a MBTA bus and pedestrians, and we had one near the police station at Maplewood at Eastern Avenue. So that I want to give everyone a reminder that it is still winter, it is still dark earlier, and the road conditions and the lighting conditions can provide challenges to motorists. So as a pedestrian, or if you ride a bike, I would ask you to be very attentive to your surroundings and the flow of vehicular traffic while you're out walking around. I'd like to highlight a very, very good piece of police work that took place this past week. Last week, the members of the Malden Police Detective Division received information regarding an unlawful firearm that had possibly made its way into our community. The detectives worked immediately, effectively, and diligently, and were able to develop the identity of a possible suspect who was in possession of that handgun and the location. As a result of that information, the detectives obtained an arrest warrant and a search warrant, and through using our own Malden Police Special Operations Unit, an entry was made at a location, the weapon was seized, and a person was taken into custody. That is a great piece of police work because they prioritized that investigation because it involved a weapon out on the street possibly, something that would be a danger to anyone in the community. And these detectives, through the assistance of our SOU team, a highly trained group of officers who serve you in a very, very potentially dangerous capacity when called out. They did a very good job on that, and I want to highlight that, and we should all be very grateful to that. Some of the things that we always see, that if you can help me with this one, I feel a lot better, is many times we see crimes in which people make themselves vulnerable to become victims. And one of the crimes where we see this is breaks into motor vehicles. And we find in many of these incidents, the common theme is that the person has left their vehicle unlocked and left valuables in the car. I believe, and I'm quite confident, if you can take 2 simple steps to lock your car and don't leave valuables in the car, that will greatly reduce that crime and will also make you and your property safer. The same goes with house breaks. Pay attention to the security of your own home. We'll be able to provide you in the future with some tips about how you can make your own property safer, but I want you to pay attention to that, and if you can help us with that, it goes a long way. So this has been the first presentation we've given. I want to thank you for listening, paying attention to what I'm going to say. I did mention last week that I had hoped that somebody from the public, if they had a question relative to law, police procedure, or whatever, could get it my way, and I would try to give you a good answer. So that did happen to me. Somebody reached out to me and asked me, what is the law regarding purchasing pepper spray? They asked me whether they needed a license to carry or a firearms identification card. The answer is no. In order to purchase pepper spray, lawfully in Massachusetts, all you have to do is prove that you are 18 years of age. So that's the answer to the question that was given to me, and I look forward to answering any inquiry that anyone might have in issues of who we are as a police department and what we do. In closing, that reminds me of a quote that was given by the father of modern policing, Sir Robert Peel. And Robert Peel said that the police are the public and the public are the police. What that really means to me is that you and I work together to make this city safe. We are as good as you are. We are as good as the information that you provide to us. We are as good as the support that you give us. I greatly appreciate the support, the enthusiasm that you show me and my officers each and every day, and we continue to want to grow on that trust and that bond and that partnership, because I do believe that together the police are the people are the police, and if we work toward a common goal, we can make a great city like Malden that is very safe. We can make it safer. Thank you. I look forward to talking to you again, and I appreciate your time.